everybody. It's episode 89, recorded on January 2nd, 2022. I'm John, and hey, Drew, knock, knock.
Who's there, buddy?
I eat mop.
I eat mop poo.
You eat your poo? Gross, man. That's disgusting.
Shut up and sit down, because it's the best day of the week for your favourite podcast, the Dads After Dark Show. And here are your hosts, John and Drew.
Season 3, Sadie is back, John. Woo. I'm excited. I fucking love that music. Wow. What a nice 3 weeks it's been off. I mean, what the hell have you been up to? I mean, I know we've been talking a lot. We've been busy a lot. I feel like even though we haven't podcasted, I feel like we've grew a little bit closer.
This has probably been our busiest time. I mean, we have been planning out icons and music and voiceover scripting and show formats. I'm so glad that we're finally doing the show, and we're going to fuck this show up probably so hard.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be rough, guys. But I'm so glad we're finally doing it after all this time.
Me too. It's super exciting.
We're doing it.
And we did it. If you didn't hear, we had a little pre-season 3 episode. It was only about 15 minutes. It explains everything. So don't expect us to do it again. Just go listen to that one, then come back and listen to this one.
And it's 2022.
It's 2022. Speaking of 2022, are you a New Year's resolution type guy?
Oh, I'm totally.
Really?
Yes. I not only do the resolutions, I will actually evaluate my resolution. I don't forget them. I actually go back and look at my resolutions from the year, and I say, did I do it? Did I not do it?
You know what? That doesn't surprise me, actually. So what do you got on the board? What's going on for 2022?
Well, I kept it easy this year.
Smart.
So I love Ender's Game. It's my favorite book, and so the other day, I was with my family. We did some post-Christmas shopping. We were in Barnes & Noble.
Good
We're
store.
sitting online, and I look across the store, and it's one of those love moments when you make eye contact. And I saw a book, and I saw it was a book by Orson Scott Card, right? He's the author of Ender's Game. So I go over there. I wasn't checking out. I was my wife was. I go over there. I'm looking at it, and it says the conclusion to the Ender's series, the Ender's Game series. And I'm like, what? And I'm looking at it, and this is the wrap-up book, and it came out this year. And I think I told you this week, I've read 7 or 8 of the Ender's Game books. But these were years ago. I've reread Ender's Game more recently, but it's been a long time since I read 2, 3, 4, and some of the other books. And so I made a resolution that I am going to reread the entire Ender's Game and Shadow series. It's 2 different series intermixed.
Okay.
It's 13 books. And the culminating book is this new book called, I think, The Last Shadow. So I'm starting that tomorrow. 13 books. You. So that's my biggest resolution. And I'm super excited for it too. Super excited.
One a month. About roughly.
I'm going to go faster than 1 a month. I'm hoping to do it within 6 months.
Wow. You turned on the first book to me. I read it 2021, as you remember.
That's right. You did the audiobook of it.
I did do the audiobook.
And you liked it, I think, right?
I did. I really enjoyed it, actually.
Yeah. But there's the first 4 books are called the Ender Quartet. They're sequential. But then he does these offshoot books, and there's a Shadow series, which basically focuses on characters from the first book. So characters you're familiar with, like Bean.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll do, there is a book that is the first book, but from the perspective of Bean, which is really cool. I read that one.
But it's the same story?
It's the same. Well, of course, the story ends up being different, but it's the same events of the first book from a different perspective.
Okay.
So like, while Ender is training at the end and you don't hear about the other characters, now you hear what happened during that time. It's great.
Okay.
It's fantastic. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. That's one resolution. And then the other two I kept really open-ended. I want to play more chess, more Scrabble. I actually I was showing my son my chess books because he plays chess at school. And I just wanted to see if there was any books he was interested in. And I found my Scrabble books that are like literally from 12 years ago. And I was like, God, I should play Scrabble more. So I've actually started reading my Scrabble book, and I'm going to start going deep into study of Scrabble. Got a Scrabble app on my phone now. I'm ready to go. I find that like Scrabble is just more stress-free than chess. So I think this is the thing for me.
Maybe we should play some Words with Friends, John. I didn't play Scrabble because I probably would have all words that were like not appropriate, not in the Scrabble dictionary.
Yes.
Like booby and, titty. You'd be calling me out left and right and be like,
what
you can't use those, Drew.
Yeah. The key I always say with Scrabble is you have to know all the 2-letter words. And to put in perspective how old my book is, my book said that there were 98 2-letter words. And I said, is that still true? And I looked online and there's now 107. So
see, you're out of the loop. You need a new book.
You've got to, no, I just literally wrote into my book all the new words that my book didn't have. No way I'm buying a new book. So yeah, those are my resolutions. Nothing specific except for just reading Ender. How about you? I mean, it sounds like you don't do resolutions.
Nah, fuck it. Nah, I mean, I don't know. Just another day. I am a fat bastard though. I feel like I'm getting fatter every day. I need to do something. I should probably get back to running. My problem is with the kids, as you know, my daughter has to be picked up every day at like 2:50.
God, they're so needy.
I know. And it's like, once you pick them up, it's tough. In the summer, it's great. I usually go for like a 3-mile run every day because she goes to camp she's at camp, and camp's not picked up till like 4:30. So I can leave work at like 3, do a nice hour run, and then bam, I go pick her up. But, and then in the summer, it's great. Then I don't even take a shower. I'll just jump in the pool and call it a day.
So gross.
But I don't know. So it's tough. But yeah, New Year's resolutions. Nah, fuck that. I'm out.
That's so. It's not just another day to me. It's like it's a fresh start.
Is it though? Is it a fresh start?
It is. Did you get anything for Christmas? Anything gaming related?
I did. I added to my plushie collection. I got who'd I get? I got Rosalina, and I got Pokey. The cactus guy.
Oh, Pokey, right?
Pokey.
One that
and
you
then
savagely murder when you see him bit by bit, slice him off.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. But yeah, I got those. I got an Apple Watch for my lovely wife. That was nice. I didn't expect that.
Oh yeah, how you liking that? Did you have a watch before?
I never really had one. I had like a Fitbit many years ago, but I haven't worn one in the last couple of years. Yeah, how about you? Any good gaming gifts?
This is the first year in maybe the entire time I've known Michelle that I didn't get a video game.
Wow.
And a lot of that is just because
you don't need any more.
Bought everything. There's nothing out right now. I have a bunch of like credit on eShop. So I didn't, but I did get, I got a few Life is Strange books. I got this one book, which is supposed to be like what's the book you get when you like graduate high school? Like a yearbook.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be a yearbook from Blackwell Academy, and it's Max's, but it's like sketched on by Chloe. It's hilarious. I haven't read it yet, but I mean, it's just like hilarious. Like she crosses off the well in Blackwell and it says hell. There's just notes from each of them to each other in it. So it's a really interesting looking kind of thing I'm really fascinated with. And then I got the rest of the comic book series that's out so far. I only read the first series of comics, so I'm really a bad Life is Strange fan.
Yes. Who are you, John? Terrible
I got some
fan.
pins. I know, right? I do want to read through it. And then I got some pins. I got a keychain, a Celeste keychain, which I really love. I got a Monster Hunter hoodie.
Wow. Monster Hunter hoodie.
Pretty set. Yeah, I'm an official Monster Hunter now. Yeah, it was fun. And then I got my son an Oculus.
Okay.
And so he's been playing that every day. He really enjoys that. And then I got to play it because I've never done VR before. And as someone who gets dizzy by first-person games, I was thinking I was just going to vomit. But no, I actually was handling it quite well.
What'd you play?
I think the only game I've played is Beat Saber. I bought.
Excuse me? Beat what?
Beat. Have you not heard of Beat Saber?
It sounds dirty.
It's a rhythm game where you have like your two VR gloves are like, like beams, like lightsabers.
Okay.
And blocks are coming at you and you have to swing at the blocks in certain variations depending on the color of the block and that sort of thing. But it's like a rhythm game, and I love rhythm games. So it gives you a little bit of a workout, not a huge workout. It's fun.
Nice.
And I'm surprised I can actually do VR. That's cool.
Nice. John, you know what I did today?
What did you do?
Something that is worse than licking your sister's asshole, as we have kindly referenced in the past. I took down the Christmas lights.
Oh.
But the problem was it was like a Seattle day out there. It was like very misty, kind of raining on and off. But it was like 53 degrees out, and it's January in New England. So I said, I'm not going to get another chance to do it when it's this warm. And I'm looking at the weather. It's going to be like kind of on and off rain on the next couple of days, and it's going to be like 30 degrees. So I did it, and it was fucking miserable, like soaking wet, just going through it, just getting it done. But the reason I'm telling the story is because with, me outside.
Oh no.
It always leads to, Drew's Nature Preserve. And in the winter, that's very rare, right? All these insects and animals usually hibernated. So I was pulling an extension cord, and like one of my little garden bricks like fell over. And guess what was underneath it? A fucking salamander.
Ew.
So what did I do? I grabbed that garden block and I fucking smushed it. But
how big is a salamander? Like, I've never really seen one.
It looked like it probably wasn't technically a salamander. Maybe a little like newt or something, but it looked like a little slimy.
Why did you feel the need to kill it? Couldn't you just let it run away?
Why? Sneaked into my house? Who knows?
Could I get like a little broom? Does Amy know that you murder these things?
Yeah. She's aware of it.
I mean, I know people that are like, they don't even want to squish like a spider, and I'm not one of those people. But a salamander, you think you just scooch it out of the house.
It wasn't in the house. It was outside.
Oh, okay. Was it why you killed it? It's in its own property.
It was in my area.
You need to go in the house.
No.
You scare me. You really do.
You gotta take care of the property. But I mean, what else? I mean, when you have 3 weeks off, we did tell story after story, but at the end of the day, I mean, it was a pretty quiet couple weeks. I was at home for 2 weeks, a lot of gaming, a lot of relaxing, like I had a lot of eating, a lot of drinking.
Almost like too much relaxing, right? It was like,
yeah.
I'm going back to work tomorrow, and I'm like, maybe I just need to go back to work tomorrow.
That's exactly how I feel. But yeah.
I did. I went to Target, and I had never seen it before. But I went by the Nintendo display in the gaming section, and they had the OLED Switch on display and a regular Switch on display.
Wow.
And it's really the first time I saw them together.
Yep.
Except for like a picture I took, but like, wow. It was a huge difference. And wow. You don't really realize how much better that OLED screen is when you've been playing on it for a while. You forget how lucky you are to have it.
It's true.
Yeah.
I tried using my OLED in one of those drips I have the other day. It wasn't the Satisfy drip, something different. And same thing. Yeah, it wouldn't even fit. And then when I was putting it in, it made me realize, like, holy shit, like it's that much bigger that it's not going to fit in that. But
it's a little bit bigger though, right? I mean,
it is just a little bit, but compared to me trying to slide that in the drip, it seemed like a lot bigger.
I often forget that the screen is bigger too, because like I said, I'm not really looking at another Switch, but I always think of the screen as like, oh, it's just brighter, but it's like the screen is actually bigger.
Correct.
And yeah, I still love it.
Bigger is better.
It's also making it so that I never buy another Switch again because I have the OLED. I hope that the next set of special editions are not OLED. Then I have a reason not to buy them.
That's stupid. Why would they ever create one that was the old version?
They will, because it's $300. They don't want to sell them all at $350. They don't want to be the first console to raise in price. So I think the OLED is a special model that's $350. If the OLED was $300, it would make sense. But it's $350. So they're not raising the price on it.
I was reading something today that they said Nintendo is expecting to have more shortages this year. It's not going to get any better for all those people that think we're beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
but it also makes you wonder, more shortages, does that mean they have something up there, something in their pocket that is going to create a shortage as well?
It's possible.
Because is the demand still there? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, totally. And I think it's very logical to say that the reason why we got the OLED Switch and not a Switch Pro might have been just because of the shortages. That's very valid. They might have been ready to do a new generation, and they thought this was not the year, and let's just wait. The funny thing is that you can't really find any of the consoles in stores, although it seems like some people are having more luck getting Xboxes.
Yep.
I think Tim and his son both got an S series, and then I've seen pictures with X's in the store. So that's cool, but overall it's still really hard and practically impossible. But I've been in 2 stores where they had stacks of Oculuses.
Okay.
So, and it seems like a lot of people have bought the Oculus. I've seen a lot of people saying, hey, I got an Oculus. What game should I get?
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it's just easier to produce, or maybe they felt like, this is a good opportunity to sell Oculus. Because if you can't buy your kid a console for Christmas, I mean, I couldn't buy my son a PS5. But I could get an Oculus, and it's $300. I think they sold a ton. But there's a lot of them. It's the only console you can really find.
Huh. Interesting.
So kind of nice.
But, well, John, like I said, we'd probably go on for a long time and talk about all these amazing stories we've had, because I know I have a bunch. But let's hear a little word from our sponsor, Manscaped. So cheers to 2022 and resolutions you can actually keep. How about having clean and shiny balls, John, all year round? Because our sponsors at Manscaped are here to save your balls this year and make your balls drop into 2022. Get it? And be the cleanest and sexiest ever. Set your New Year's resolution with good intentions and join the 4 million men. That's right, folks. Just over the break, it went from somehow 2 million to 4 million worldwide who trust Manscaped. Remember to go to manscaped.com and use the code NINDADS, NINDADS, for 20% off and free shipping.
Drew, I just had a really bad visual. I don't know why I was thinking about it, but I think it was the part where the cleanest and sexiest balls ever.
Yes.
You know how we do tournaments in the Dad's Discord?
Yeah. Ooh.
And you know how a lot of people in the Dad's Discord have used the NINDADS code to buy Manscaped products? What if we did?
Okay.
Hear me out here.
I'm already liking this idea.
A dong tournament, and you take a picture of your Manscaped dong.
Yep.
And we just do a tournament and vote on the nicest looking one.
I'll tell you what, everyone can email it to us anonymously, right? Anonymously
to Drew.
To me. You can tweet me.
Could we do this? Could this be a real?
We could do a bracket of shaved balls. Right, I'll make a nice bracket. Right, we'll let the whole bracket will be like, best balls of the year, and
we can throw in some eShop money on this.
100% eShop, 100%. What's Manscaped find about this? They might just make us a partner and CEO. But I'm into this, Sean. I think we should do. If you guys want us to do a ball bracket, let us know. And if you didn't know, check the show notes, because we actually do have a new email now, dadsafterdartshow@gmail.com. So that's where you can really send us some naughty pictures if you want. That's okay. Do it. Show us your balls. I'm okay with it. Create a new email if you want to be anonymous. That's okay.
I mean, it's possible. It's just, it would be anonymously sent.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have a name, and it would be a very fair vote.
The only problem is when we announce the winner. I mean,
yes.
You got to sign a disclaimer. If your balls are the sexiest and cleanest balls, I mean, I feel like you kind of want to brag about that.
Yeah, yes.
So if I win, it's okay. I'll let you guys, that you will know that those are my balls.
It's kind of like the prize for everybody else. Like, yeah, but now I know that was your picture.
The only problem with this is you could have someone steal balls off the internet.
That would be, we could run it through Google image search and see if
That's
there's an
true.
exact picture
That's
of those
true.
balls.
Bullshit, then I might be out.
Because your balls are all over the internet?
Oh, Manscaped. Then Dad's 20% off, free shipping, excellent products. I actually just started using my shampoo. It's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, totally.
The Bounty Board.
This is new, Drew.
A bounty board? What does it mean?
Let's explain. We've always done Monthly Mayhem. That's our monthly contest. We wanted to do more. And in fact, when we started talking about a show refresh, one of the ideas was to make our podcast super competitive about playing games and accomplishing things. And we throttled off it a bit because, nobody wants to listen to a podcast about how some gamer is better than you. But we want to do something interesting. We're going to pony up some prizes here. And so in addition to Monthly Mayhem, this does not affect Monthly Mayhem at all. We are going to start doing bounties. A bounty, Drew, do you want to know what a bounty is?
I'd love to know what a bounty.
A bounty is going to be a gaming challenge that we challenge our audience to in the podcast. And if you can do it, and if you can prove you can do it anytime, we will give you a prize. I mean, how fun is that?
It's fantastic because you don't know what it's going to be. It's a spur of the moment thing. And not only are you racing to do it, you're racing against the clock because little do you know, you could just be a little bit away, very close to it. But somewhere across the world, across the continent, who knows? Maybe they're in like Antarctica, Afghanistan and Indonesia, Australia. They're doing the same bounty trying to beat you.
Exactly. We're going to add bounties any given time. Every episode will tell you what's on the bounty board. You'll see it on our Twitter as well. But it can be, any game, anytime. I think it's like anytime we think it would be really cool to see if someone can do this, we're going to just throw up a bounty. And I am going to announce the first bounty.
Dun, dun, bum.
First bounty is going to be for Big Brain Academy. So who has Big Brain Academy out there? Raise your hands, everybody. Here's what you need to do. In Big Brain Academy, under your account, there is a practice mode. Okay? It's a board. There's like all the games. There's a practice mode, and it shows you your high score for all of the games, or they call them activities.
Activities.
Now, when you do an activity, you get a score, and that score translates into a medal. The top medal you can get is a platinum medal. That is 1,000 points. Do you have any?
No, I have all gold, though.
Okay, cool. That's very good.
Now, just to be clear, you can't do the advanced practices or whatever the hell they're called. This needs to be in the practice.
Yeah.
Advanced practice is a little bit of
scoring's different.
Scoring's a little different. Correct.
Right. So in the practice mode, you need to get 3 platinum medals. Any activity you want. 3. Take a picture of your practice screen on your Switch. Post it to Twitter, tag us at NDadsAfterDark. First person to do that gets a $10 eShop card. I want to make sure this is a bounty board. This isn't this little baby mayhem shit. This ain't easy.
I want to make sure people aren't trying to cheat, John. Can we do something to that picture to make sure this is unique? I want them to either like do the peace sign or write on a piece of paper, ball bracket. I don't know, something to make sure I know that it's their screen they're taking a picture.
I like it. Make sure Drew knows, everybody. And that screen should have your username and picture on it too. Don't go grabbing it. I want to see it on your Switch. Take a picture of your Switch.
With either
you want to do peace sign? Peace sign?
Yeah. Your face doesn't have to be in it if you don't want to do it, but yeah, just get your hand in there with the peace sign. Yeah, that's what I want to see.
And any one of these bounties, if we need further proof, we want to make sure it's all legit and pictures can be changed and whatever. We might even ask you for a 30-second clip or something. But yeah, that's what we're going to do here. So if you want $10 in eShop credit, you're already playing Big Brain Academy, do 3. If you've got 3 already, you should be sitting there taking a picture of your Switch right now.
Agreed.
Okay.
Now, the best part about this is there's no expiration date. First come, first serve.
No
Simple.
expiration date. And the next episode, if we don't have this bounty, we're going to lower it to 2. So
Are we?
I'm going to lower it to 2 next episode. So, but you got 2 weeks to get 3 platinums.
I'm giving you 3 days. Somebody will have this bounty completed within 3 days.
I think so. We don't want to make the first one impossible, but this is hard. I actually have 1 platinum. 1.
Overachiever.
Yeah, 1. I think I might be close on another, but yeah, I only have 1 platinum. So this isn't easy, but it's also not impossible, especially if you're really focused on doing it. So hopefully I have fun with that. And I'll announce this over Twitter as well once this show is live. So that's our bounties.
So, John, it looks like I see something else on the bounty board. Maybe something about a little bit of a review bounty.
That's right.
Tell us about that.
This is a little bit different. If you haven't heard from every other podcast, reviews are super important. They really are. And reviews are important because it helps you in the search. And we always want to get reviews. And every podcast will say, give us a 5-star review. We're going to make this a little bit sweeter. This is going to be a monthly competition. Not competition. A monthly lotto. For every review that we get, and you do not have to give us a 5-star review. We want an honest review. We want feedback. Tell us what we're doing right. Tell us what we're doing wrong. We really want feedback. We would love a 5-star review. However, you don't need to. Here's what you need to do. Leave a review on Podchaser or Apple. Either one of the two. We would love to be ranked on Spotify, but that's not part of this contest. Write a review on Podchaser, search for Dad's After Dark Show, or on Apple, right in our podcast, leave us a review. For every review that you leave in the month of January, you will be entered in a contest to win a $10 eShop card. And monthly. So for every review in January, you get basically a lotto ball. If you leave us a review on Podchaser and Apple, you'll get 2 entries in the lotto. Okay.
Now, John, let me ask you this. What happens if you've already left a review?
Just leave another review.
That's right. Go back in and rewrite it.
Yeah.
Because it will change. It updates.
Right. And if we see it and we see it dated in January, you get an entry in the lotto. That's the only way we can do it. So just go for it. Update your review.
And if you're nervous that we might not see it, even though we will, you can take a screenshot if you want and email it. John, what's our new email? dadsafterdarkshow@gmail.com. That's it.
You Simple hopefully won't need to do that.
You really shouldn't. But if you feel like you want a little extra cushion,
right.
I just want someone to email us.
Now we have a new podcast. We shifted over to Anchor, right? Where we kind of control our podcast now.
Never did.
Shifted over Anchor, and so they've kind of forgotten about all of our old reviews. So we really need reviews. If you try to search for Nintendo on Apple, you will not see our podcast. So to make this even better, for the month of January, this month, the winner will get $20 in eShop credit. So we are basically saying this. If you want to get a $20 eShop card, just leave a review on Podchaser, leave a review on Apple, and you have 2 lottery balls to win. That's it.
I think the return theme, folks, here, if you haven't understood yet, is we want to fucking give away some money to you guys. We respect you. We want to give away prizes. And it's simple. It's simple to get the prizes.
Yeah, nice and easy. And then when February comes, even if you're late on a review, if February comes, you're in the February lottery. We're going to be giving out $10 every month for reviews. And you know what? If we really like the reviews, we might even read them here as well. So
I like that idea.
Yeah, it really helps us. You get the podcast for free. We are asking you to pay in reviews. That's it. But if you do 24 reviews this year, you have 24 chances for $10 in eShop credit, $20 this month. And that's ongoing.
Sounds like a no-brainer.
Hey, Drew, what about Monthly Mayhem?
Monthly Mayhem. It was, if you didn't know, we wrapped up the previous one. Did we talk about it on the air? I don't think we did.
No, we actually just wrapped it up in Discord.
We did. So if you didn't know, we had the Mario Tennis 64. I made it to the finals, and I got my ass kicked.
Chris HL killed everybody.
All those beers. He admitted it back to college days. He played a lot of it, and it shows. It was a fun tournament, a lot of head-to-head stuff, and then we had Gunstar Heroes, and I think the Informant was our runner-up. Or
Informant got the he was the third place winner, and because you beat him in the semis,
I did,
but he won the lotto.
Correct. Yep, good for him. So that was the past. It's over. We wrapped it up. We're not quite ready to announce our next month, but it's we have a lot of thoughts. A lot of people are on Discord asking for certain games. I like that. Keep it coming.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to see a game that you think you're good at, that you can beat people, let's hear about it. Tell us in Discord which one you want, and you might just see it. So 2 weeks from today, our next episode 90, we will be announcing Monthly Mayhem, so make sure you listen in then. But that's it.
Monthly Mayhem.
Monthly Mayhem.
Monthly Mayhem. What we've been playing.
So before we talk about all the games we want to play, or the games we have played rather, John, we both played a lot more of Loop Hero since our last, little mini episode or Betwits, I guess. No, but we may have gotten a little trigger happy, some may say. We may have jumped the gun. Maybe we praised Loop Hero quite too much. But I think we dove a little bit deeper.
I loved it. I loved it the first 4 or 5 hours or so, and it hits a wall. It just hits a wall.
Hits a difficulty wall, for one. It hits a repetitive wall. It hits a wall where you don't know what the fuck you're doing. There's some things wrong with the game, and I think you don't see it in the first 4 or 5 hours. And that's why we tell everyone to don't jump to conclusions with games. It's the best game I've ever played, unless you really play it through. And that's what we try to do, right? We try to finish.
Mm-hmm.
But
we didn't finish.
No, I mean, overall, again, I did not finish. I'm guilty, so it's hard to give it a full out score. But
yeah,
if I had to, it's somewhere in the middle there. Like, it's like a 5-er because it was.
Yeah. I would say. Do we know if Marty finished too? Because he was really into it too, and we were kind of interested. And really, just to explain that wall real quick, you do loops in the game, and it's fun, and you start unlocking things that are very tangible and make sense, and new characters. And it's like middle part of the game, you're unlocking things, and the game doesn't explain what they even are. And I'm all for discovery in games, but like here, it's like you have to like spend currency to unlock something that they don't even tell you what it is. So it's really weird. And it's just, like I couldn't get past the second boss. You and I were trying to get past the first boss. Yep. We had a ton of fun, finally did it. The second boss I could never get past because I just don't know if it was even possible. There was just things I needed to unlock. So I started grinding. At some point you unlock an encyclopedia, which is great, but you can use the encyclopedia to figure out how to get certain like items in the game so that you can unlock other things. And I was using the encyclopedia. Like it would say, if you defeat 4 enemies in a room, you can get this orb or whatever. So if you decide, I need to get orbs, you look it up in the encyclopedia, it tells you how to get it. And I was doing that, and you needed a lot of items. And there were times when I was trying to get the item and I still couldn't get it, even though the game was telling me how to get it. And everything was going to take so long, and there was so much grinding involved. I just kind of fell off. So it wasn't like a bad game. I just wasn't invested in
poor pacing.
That kind of, if I'm going to grind, it's going to be at an RPG or something and leveling up, not this.
You're literally just pushing the button and watching TV for literally like 3 minutes. Oh, I did push the button again. Like
it is a great TV game, yeah.
But that's the type of game it is, right? It's not button mashing or action or really even, there's really not too much decision making. And I got to be honest too, it's essentially a point and click game as well for your map. And it's like, it doesn't work well with the joystick, to be honest. It doesn't. When I have to put my mountain in the top left corner, it's annoying. I have to go to the bottom of the screen, get the card, and drag it over there, and then go back and drag the next card. It's like playing SimCity, like on a, or it was a, I don't know.
It would be better on a PC, which is funny because the game originally came out on PC, and it took a while before it came to Switch. That's probably why. I mean, it really was designed for a PC.
Or even like maybe even like an iPhone. I hate to say it, but even like a phone game might be better.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
So I don't know if it is on Apple or Android. I don't believe it is, but it should. Anyways, Loop Hero. What else, John? What else have you been playing over the last few weeks?
I played a bunch. I'll just go through them real quick. I have one I want to talk about. Diablo 2 Resurrected I got to playing that one a little bit after you. I just did offline mode because you had scared me about the servers. So I never played this
then I
online.
couldn't play with you.
I know, but I played it offline. And I, at first, was like, yeah, Diablo 3 is just a much better game, much more quality of life. But then I started to get into it and was fine with it. But yeah, when you die, you have to go on an expedition to go find your body. And it's just annoying. And I got stuck on this one quest for literally like 3 hours.
Yeah, it's brutal.
And then you die. And then what happens is, if you have to go to your body, the enemies all crowd around the door. So I couldn't even get into the room because if I walked into the room, I'd have 6 enemies on top of me and I'd be dead in a second. I just found it like the game's sort of outdated to me. It doesn't have the nostalgia because I didn't play it. So I don't know. I kind of fell off of it. I'm not going to like bag on it. I was having fun. It just the way that works with if you leave a room because the enemies are on you, they just stay there. And it really, it's like, go away. Just, I need to go back in. So I kind of just stopped playing this one. Maybe one day I come back. I don't know. I did play Gunstar Heroes as I promised you.
Yes, your first time ever.
This game is freaking hard. The first thing I did after rolling credits was I said, "You really loved this game as a kid?" Like,
loved it.
It's incredibly made, especially for the time. But man, it is so hard, and they give you so little health as you're going. I spammed rewind. I used rewind so much. It became almost like part of my control scheme. I was constantly hitting the rewind button over and over and over and over again.
And what was your weapon of choice?
Oh, gosh. What was my weapon of choice?
Yeah, what weapon did you use?
I can't even remember what I did.
Oh, there was
you have like a specialty thrower,
there was the laser, there's a machine gun.
Yeah, I think I mostly use like the machine gun or something.
And there's the green one that's pretty much like homing missiles or whatever they are.
Yeah, I definitely didn't use the homing missiles very much.
How about the cool level that's like a board game at the end?
It reminded me of Cuphead.
Yeah, it's kind of cool though. It's different.
I totally love the game. I was just put off by the fact that they constantly made you fight bosses. There was a level that was called Final Level that had like 6 bosses in it. I never knew when it was going to end. It was really annoying. If I didn't have rewind, there's no way I would have finished this game. It was way too difficult.
I think I played to the only time I used rewind was the final boss.
But you knew the enemies. You had like...
Yeah, I know. I remember like memory. Yeah, I had a memory of like
they were also spongy and whatever. So I enjoyed the game for what it was made, but I found it incredible, way too hard and a little frustrating. But I enjoyed my time. I'm glad I played through it.
Yep.
I've always wanted to play it. I also played Psychonauts 2, which has a 30-second review, and great. It's totally a Game of the Year candidate. Great graphics. I don't know if I say great music, but I mean, great graphics, great little story, such great characterization. I played it to credits, and then because I am a dad that finishes, I 100%ed all the collectibles. I actually had deleted it. I played this off Game Pass. I actually had deleted the game because I did all the collectibles in the dungeons, and I had collectibles left in the overworld, but I was so sick of those overworld levels, the woods and the middle area where they call it the lobe, and I deleted it. And a few days later, I was like, you know what? I want to try to finish it. And so I reinstalled it and continued my game, and I 100%ed all the collectibles outdoors. I almost did everything. I finished all the quests except for one. But yeah, I hit a point where I was like, okay, I'm authentically not interested in like doing everything. You had to buy all the pins, so I would just have to sit there for hours and harvest. But yeah, no, really liked it. It was a really fun time. Really very creative game. And post credits, there's so many different areas that have different things going on to go along with the fact that you beat the game. It wasn't like you had to save before the final boss. They acknowledge that the final boss is gone. And then there's some storylines. I actually did some achievements by talking to certain people after. So really well done. I played through Axiom Verge again. I wanted to play Axiom Verge 2, and it had been a long time. So I played through Axiom Verge 1 again, and I wanted 100% at this time. When I was like looking for everything as I went, try to get every collectible. When I finished, I had almost the exact same completion stats as my first playthrough when I didn't really care about 100%ing the game. That was weird.
That is weird.
I played it a little bit more. I got about 10% more of the map and the items than I did the first time. But man, like whatever items I was missing must be really well hidden because I still needed like 30% of the items.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was like, all right, I'm not going to 100% this because I'm just going to have to look up a guide and find 30% of the items. So, yeah. And I actually didn't buy Axiom Verge 2 because I just wasn't in the mood.
Oh, yeah. You see, that's because you should just played the second one, John.
I know. Second one looks so different too, but I just wasn't in the mood. I think I'm good with Axiom Verge now. And then I also started Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's only my second Assassin's Creed game, but I wanted to play a big open world game on my Xbox. I finished up Red Dead and I'm playing Assassin's Creed 2. And I'll just say, I love Assassin's Creed Valhalla way more than Red Dead Redemption 2. It is so open world. Everything you do is quick. It is so nice not to like do everything in slow motion like in Red Dead. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm trying to find everything as I go. But it's a big world.
I'm so jealous with these types of games.
I might be playing this game for a couple months. I mean, it's...
I almost thought almost about going back to Witcher 3, John. I did think of it. I miss those games. There's not a lot of those on the Switch. There just isn't.
There isn't. Yeah. And you can do Breath of the Wild. You can do Witcher. There's some choices, but this has actually replaced Witcher 3 for me just because I wanted to replay Witcher 3 as well. But I've played through that game. I started that game like 3 different times. So it's like,
God bless you.
But this is like new. So I'm just going to play this one probably the one time. And yeah, I'll talk a little bit about it more next episode. But yeah, about 7 hours in and I'm enjoying it.
Good for you.
The one I just want to take a couple minutes to talk about though is It Takes Two. Look at me playing all the Game of the Year candidates.
Yeah, not on Nintendo.
This one did win for Game of the Year by the Game Awards, and it's like it's totally co-op. You can't play it solo, but you can play it online. So if you don't have a partner, you can go on and play. And I don't know how that works. I know Hambone played it with Koozie, but like if you go online to play and find somebody, I guess the host. You start where the host is, and so the other person just plays the host's game, I guess. So I don't know how it would work with randos. You can do it with randos. But Michelle and I played it just on the same screen. And I thought it would be a shorter game. It actually is a pretty meaty game. And we had a blast with it. It's like most of the time you're playing, it's split screen vertically. Sometimes it's full screen and the two of you are on the screen at the same times. A few times it goes split screen horizontally. And yeah, it's totally co-op. The charm of the game is that there are stages that you do where each of you has your own power and you just work together. So there was like a stage where Michelle had a hammer on her back and I had nails that I could throw and then recall. And so as she's like trying to traverse a platform, I'm using nails to lock platforms in place, and then she's using the hammer to do something. Very asymmetric gameplay, very creative. Every so often you'd get a stage where it didn't even feel like a co-op game. You're just doing your own thing. And then the next stage would be extremely co-op. There's a stage where each of you has one side of a magnet. And so you can use it to like connect each other. You can use it to repel. You can use it to for platforming. Is just so creative. I've never played a game like it. Just had a ton of fun. And if this game comes out on Switch, Drew, you and Amy have to play it.
Yeah, we might. Yeah.
Oh, you would love it. This is perfect. And I'm hoping they put it on Switch and let you play wirelessly with 2 different Switches. I mean, you need 2 copies of it, so probably not. But it would be a cool option, or like a download play. Probably not. But you and Amy would totally need to play this game. Definitely. It's definitely not my Game of the Year. I think I like Psychonauts 2 better. I like Metroid Dread better. I liked Life is Strange True Colors better.
Of course you did.
But I'm not going to say it should not have been. It's so creative. I'm glad they won the award, put it that way. So, and I guess what we're going to do is when we finish a game on here, we're going to give it a review. And so I am going to review It Takes Two. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Very good. What's 9 on our scale? 9 is like, hells yeah.
Hells yeah.
give it a 9 out of 10. I look forward to giving a ranking for Valhalla. I'm really curious where that one goes. But yeah,
we shall see.
That's what I've been playing. It's been a lot. 3 weeks. How about you?
It has been. All right. So I've been playing quite a few things. Right before Christmas time, I needed a game and I was looking for some little Christmas themes. I said, what the hell does the Switch have for Christmas games? John, they don't have a lot. Let me tell you that. But they do have Cthulhu Saves Christmas. Cthulhu is that, mystical H.P. Lovecraft alien guy that looks like Squid, right? That's Cthulhu. We all know the character. So it's about him saves Christmas. It's in the style of a JRPG. Junior John stands for Junior, and it's interesting. I would say it's about 70% story and 30% gameplay. There was a lot of story. The only thing is, it's written okay. It's written very well, I guess I could say. There's a lot of humor in it. But essentially, you wake up and Santa steals your magic powers. So you make a deal with, I don't know, his niece that says, well, if you help me save Santa, he'll give you back your powers. So you then can defeat Santa. Stupid. But anyways, the game it was too repetitive. It was very, very repetitive. You have to go save 5 or 6 things. And I don't know. I wasn't a fan. I stopped playing it, to be honest. And that's all I got to say about it. It was just too repetitive. Once you played the areas, it was the same thing. You went through a little area, you fought a bunch of enemies, then you fought a boss, and then you moved on. And then there was a bunch of storylines, and it's okay. Next, I played Paper Mario, the original, on the 64 expansion pass with the wife. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. We almost 100%ed it. John, this game is a 10 out of 10. It's just perfect.
Wow.
This is just the perfect game. I absolutely love it. We used the N64 wireless controller that we got with it, so it felt, classic. It was just absolute blast, and love everything about it.
Did you run into that crash when you shake the tree?
I read about it right before we got there, so we did not hit the tree.
But you knew which tree it was, so you just avoided it?
Correct. Yeah, yep. Yeah, we did. Once I learned that could happen, we did a bunch of save states every once in a while. Every time we shut it off for the day, we did a save state.
Right.
So we always had, we'd always ever lose one play session.
Do you have any theories as to why that tree would be problematic? Is there something that...
No, so weird. It's so weird. It's so random. I don't get that at all. And I don't think Nintendo's going to patch it, to be honest. I don't know how you could really...
Oh, I think they'll patch it.
Maybe.
They have to. I mean, that's yeah. They don't want people to lose confidence in their service.
Well, don't hit the fucking tree.
Save states.
Save states and turn off your Switch like I've been telling you guys for a fucking year. Then you would have had a cloud save and you would have been fine. Sorry. Okay. Big Brain Academy. I picked this up around Black Friday for $15. What a fucking steal. I just opened it about a week ago. Been playing it, so I'll talk more about it later. But fun game. The kids love it. My 5-year-old can play this game, and it makes him feel smart and good. That's all that matters. And it's cool. It's really cool to see your kids play these things and do the test and see what the outcome is. What's their skills? Is it visual? Is it identity? Is it math? It's cool to see if it matches their personality, which it does. For example, I kept doing good at memory, which I have the worst memory in the world, which blew my mind.
It's a really fun game. I often go days and days without touching it, and then I play it, and then I'll get soaked up for an hour trying to get high scores and whatever.
My wife says, well, I want to play it handheld because I want to do the touch screen.
Yes.
I said, listen, Amy, I love you. You're not fucking playing this handheld on my OLED. No, it's not an option. She didn't, and she was getting mad at me. I was like, no, I'm not. I don't want fingerprints all over it. It's not.
Don't you have the other Switch? It does. You can do the cloud save will copy over.
Yeah, I have to just set that up for her.
Yeah. Going touchscreen is if you're going to be competitive about playing cloud games. I'll play Marty and Jesse's cloud games, and I'm going to go and check out yours after this.
Yeah.
Touchscreen is you'll score better with touchscreen.
Oh, I bet so much faster. Next, I picked up Guardians of the Galaxy. It was on sale for $38. I'm so glad I did. This game is just so much fun. It deserves that nomination of Game of the Year. It's so unique. It's so different. And that's all I'm going to say for now, because I'll probably talk about it more in depth on next episode as a full review. But the review that I want to talk about this week is a little game I picked up called Archvale. Archvale, if you don't know, is a bullet style. What do they call them? Hell bullets?
Bullet hell.
Bullet hell. Essentially, it's like Enter the Dungeon. But what I love about this game is it's not a fucking roguelike. For once, someone made a game that wasn't a roguelike, which I love. It's so fun to explore. It makes you want to explore every corner of the map because it rewards you with upgrades and unlockables. It's perfectly balanced when if you die, you lose half of your coins. So it makes you want to kind of go to towns and put money in the bank, but you have to find more towns to unlock more banks. There's a badge system, which if you played a lot of the Paper Mario games, which have badges, it's the same concept. You can put in badges, and some badges cost 1 badge, some cost 3 badges, and it just gives you a little extra buffs. So I thought that was a great little concept that they added. You can upgrade your health potions. Again, you have to go find these little plum things across the maps, and you can trade them in at this place. You can upgrade your actual weapons and items, and there's tons of weapons and items too, between if you want to do magic, if you want to do melee, a bow and arrow, all different types of things you can choose from. You can also do crafting, and I'm saying this is a lot, but it's all done in a simple, easy way to configure. There's not a lot of explanation needed. Pretty straightforward, simple storyline. Beautiful graphics. I give this game a 9.5. It was near perfect for me. I loved it. I wanted more. It was one of those games I kept wanting to play, and when I beat it, I said, I want more. But there's not really anything else to do. I beat it. But fantastic game.
So would you say it doesn't have replay value, or you just didn't want to do it?
I mean, I don't think there's replay. Once you beat the game, you beat the game. There's there may have been, I didn't even look. I don't think there was achievements or not, but I just have to go back and look. I don't know if there was. There may have been, actually. Shit. I don't know. I mean, I 100% explored the map. I upgraded all my potions to the mats. I upgraded my hearts to the mats. I did everything that I could, mats everything out.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing, and then I beat the game. So I don't really know what else there would be to do unless there's a secret level or something, but I don't think there is. I think I did everything. So. Okay.
Yeah, fun game. They have this game on Game Pass, so I would totally just try it. The graphics turn me off, and usually they haven't. Retro is usually what I'm into, but I had a couple of retro games that really kind of ruined it. So I have this negative reaction when I see retro graphics right now.
Yeah, but I think it's vibrant. It's a little different. I didn't really, when I played it, I wasn't sucked into that retro feel. I really wasn't.
Okay.
I think they're all unique landscapes and designs. Yeah, that it was good.
Yeah, I should totally try it.
You should at least give it an hour. If you liked it, you might keep going. If you don't, then it was free, right? Isn't it on Game Pass?
Yeah, it's free. It's free.
It's free.
Yes.
It's not free.
It's chit chat time.
But John, looking ahead at the month of January, we really don't have any big games coming out, at least on Nintendo. I can't speak for you other people, but what's your plans? Is there any back catalog game you've been wanting to play, or is there something else you're gonna pick up? What are you thinking?
I had this bizarre notion that I would play through credits of Valhalla during a 10-day vacation, and I'm only, like I said, 7 hours in. That's going to be a slow roll game that I'll be playing all the way through January. So I know that I'll have Valhalla through January. But yeah, on Switch, I really had nothing. I was crawling through my shelf today looking. I like taking months and playing games that I've always wanted to play and just never have. And last month I played Psychonauts 2, which was a game I kept delaying on. So I'm going to start the Wonderful 101 remastered now. I have been told that game's really good since I had a Wii U, and it's made by Platinum Games. It's the Bayonetta people. And for some reason, I was totally wanted it for Switch. I demanded it come out to Switch. Then they made it for Switch. I was going to play it day one. I didn't even buy it day one. Yeah, and I just never got to it. And so now
what
I'm
style of
finally good.
gameplay is it? Is it like a hack and slash? Is it an RPG?
It's pretty unique. You kind of
Or is it
control a mob, and
Okay.
I can't get any more specific than that. I don't know, but you have this like whole crew of characters, and I think there's like a Bayonetta character, which is cool. And yeah, it's kind of unique, and all the characters can merge together to form weapons and stuff like that. So yeah,
Nice.
I've just been wanting to play it for a long time, and I love playing a game that has been on my mind or watching a movie that has been on my mind for a long time. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing Wonderful 101. And then I think after it, I might finally play Okami HD.
Nice.
So we'll see. It depends on when I finish, and I might play Pokemon Arceus. I
Yeah.
think it comes out the 28th. What is that? The 28th? 28th. Right now I'm planning to not play that, at least not right away. But if the stars align, yeah, the 28th. But yeah, for the next 4 weeks, I'm gonna just play opening. I was also thinking of LA Noire, which I have on Switch and never opened.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, just some old games, just to say I finally played them. Are you? What are you doing? You're playing Galaxy.
I'm gonna play Galaxy. That's gonna take me a little bit of while. I think I'm like 30 to 40% done with it. Enjoying it, taking my time with it. I was maybe thinking about bringing out Darksiders 3. I loved the first two. Just haven't done around to the third one yet. Maybe there's gonna be a good opportunity to pick that up and give it a go.
That one came out recently?
Semi. I don't know. Maybe a year.
Huh. Okay.
But that's what I'm thinking. It's been on my wish list for a while.
All the games are different, right?
Well, this one's a girl, I believe. This one's a female character.
Mm-hmm. But they're different stories, or do they connect?
They're all different types of stories. Yeah, all different stories. I like 2 the best. But yeah, so Darksiders 3 came out on the Nintendo Switch September 30th, 2021. However, it originally came out in November of 2018. It took 3 years to come to the Switch. Interesting. I'll have to look at the trailer and stuff, look into it more. But
I love a good time when there are no new games coming out, because Lord knows we get flooded. There's always so much to play and so much demanding attention. I love just having a month where I can play some good game that I just never got to. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. When's the next game that you have to play?
You know, I don't know. I didn't look at my list. I have a list with a bunch of stuff. I know there's a few that I'm my eyes on, but I don't know. I don't have any. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one.
You know what mine is?
What is it, John?
Comes out 30 days from now.
Some Life is Strange garbage.
Is Strange remastered collection. Oh, I cannot wait.
It's the same fucking thing.
It's remastered.
Oh my god, play something new.
Oh my god, I can't wait to see the remastered first game. If your favorite game of all time was remastered, you would be stoked to see. I cannot wait. And I already bought it. I already got it when I bought the Life is Strange Ultimate Edition, so I actually own it. I don't even have to buy it.
But you say like the favorite game ever, but you've played this within the last year.
Yeah, I played it like 3 times in the last year. But this is completely redone. I think they're redoing animations, and I don't even know. I mean, I kind of expect we're going to get a trailer this week, because people are wondering if this is going to be delayed. We haven't heard much about it. I think we'll get a new trailer this week, so I'm excited. No, I can't wait. Cannot wait. But that's the next one, February 1st.
A new era is upon us, Sean. The end of the Nintendo Minute.
No.
What do you think?
That's sad. I was heartbroken. When that news came, I was heartbroken. Nintendo Minute, I guess it's been around about 8 years. We probably, like most people, didn't watch much of it during the Wii U era. But it was something that Michelle and I kind of bonded over when we sort of came up with the routine of watching YouTube at night. You know, at night we'll watch YouTube, Netflix, you know, whatever's on. And we would watch every Nintendo Minute. We were always excited when a new game was coming out, and they would do it. I really grew to love Kit and Krista, and I was hoping to like go to a conference and see them. And it was kind of sad that they sort of disbanded. I have a feeling one of them is leaving Nintendo, but I don't know. Krista did a tweet talking about how big changes are coming. And clearly, obviously, she's not doing Nintendo Minute anymore. So I don't know if she's leaving Nintendo or what. The other thing I always thought was Kit was kind of an asshole to her a lot. They would do these little mini competitions, or trivia competitions, whatever. And he was always rough with her, and he always seemed to be cheating. And I was like, I always thought, like, when's Krista just going to punch him in the face? And so in my mind, I'm kind of thinking like they got into a fight or something. But I think one of them's just leaving Nintendo, and we just don't know. So when is the 2 week? When's the 2 weeks on that? Right. So once we hit the 2 week, maybe that's when someone's going to leave.
Okay. So you're saying there,
and then we'll know. I'll always remember my biggest memory of it is when they had Lee Kovacs on. Okay. And she is a artist, and she's kind of an influencer. She does cosplay and art, and she is a Nintendo partner essentially. And they had her on the show, and they had this, I think they called it like My Nintendo Memories or something. And so like Kit and Krista would each went through like one of their favorite memories of a game or something. And as they described it, Lee was drawing them. So if they were, they were talking about, I was playing the Nintendo was on the floor, blah, 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 blah. And she was like drawing it. And it was just wild. It's such a good job. And I sort of like fell in love with the art from Lee Kovacs. And I guess it was 6 months ago or so, she was taking commissions. And so I threw $20 her way, and I had her draw a avatar for Michelle. And Michelle made her avatar on Twitter. And so I just thought it was really cool. I love her art. So she's very super artistically talented.
Nice.
Yeah. Were you ever into Nintendo Minute?
Not real. I mean, I watched them here and there, but not. No. This has no effect on me.
No effect. Heartless.
No effect on me.
Heartless.
Yeah, well, sometimes I am. Well, actually, many times I am, John.
Oh, especially with salamanders.
Hey, shouldn't have been in my yard.
Hey. Get out of my yard.
I think we have some Discord questions.
We do.
We do. Some interesting ones this week. Like we said, we started a new Discord channel that pretty much says, Ask John and Drew anything.
I think it's Ask Drew and John.
Oh, Ask Drew and John. I'm on top. I see what you did there. But yeah, and you guys did. You guys asked us pretty much anything.
I want to hear this first question. I like it.
The first question. What is this, from Liam? Liam D?
Liam D.
Liam D pretty much says, what is your favorite trilogy of all time? Movie trilogy, that is.
Trilly.
Trilly. Is that like a English thing?
Oh, did you not see the Stephen Colbert video?
Oh, I guess I did not see the Colbert video.
Oh, it's really good. Yeah.
I'll have to watch it. And his says, why is it Back to the Future trilogy? So we had a bunch of answers, a bunch of good answers. I'll go first because there's only one real correct answer, and that is Lord of the Rings. I mean, it's simple. Ugh. That is a masterpiece of cinematography, prop design, direction. I mean, they set the stage for these movies. It's
confusion.
No, they don't make movies like this anymore, John.
Thank God.
They don't.
Hey, why don't we get Lord of the Rings? Like, you know how we get everything has to be a universe now? And we get so much Marvel shit. We're getting so much Star Wars shit now. How come we don't get any Lord of the Rings stuff anymore? 2
reasons. Well, first of all, we are getting it. Amazon Prime's almost done with their first show.
Ooh.
The Amazon Prime is spending $1 billion on Lord of the Rings universe, just so you know.
Probably a good investment. Yeah.
Great investment. The second reason was Tolkien was a dickhead, and he held his rights, and the family of Tolkien held the rights very, very tight for a very, very long time. And it's like slowly, now that people are dying, starting to get released a little bit more. So that was one of the main reasons why we didn't get a lot of things. That's why it took so long to even get a movie. I mean, the only thing we ever had was that animated Hobbit film way back in the day.
Oh my God.
In the 70s, which actually wasn't terrible.
When did Tolkien die?
I don't know.
I'll look it up. Keep going. 1973. What? 1973 he died?
Yeah, the guy was born in like the 1800s almost. Like, the guy was fucking ancient.
1892. Wow, that's so crazy.
That's good life.
You want to hear my theory? My theory is the only reason why people really love Lord of the Rings is because he wrote it before like sci-fi was big. But it's actually boring.
It's not about sci-fi, John. It's about character
Fantasy.
investment, character development. There's really not too much fantasy in it as far as like super magic
God, it's
and
all
stuff.
fantasy.
Get over yourself. What's the best Trilly of all time, John? Don't throw some fantasy bullshit at me.
Best Trilly is the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight Batman.
Oh
movies.
my God.
Not even
sick.
close. Oh my gosh. The best.
picked
All
the
three of them. I can
super-
watch them over and over again. I do not get bored.
Superhero trilogy?
What versus Lord of the Rings? It's almost the same thing.
It's not even remotely close.
Why does a superhero eliminate it? It's gritty. It's real. It's incredible.
The
Christian
opposite
Bale.
of real.
Christian Bale, the best Batman of all time. We got the Dark Knight, which is just one of the best movies of all time, just period. And even though the third movie with Bane is full of so many plot holes, Chris Nolan, man, so many plot holes, it's just still incredible. I love the Bane voice. I love the fear and terror. I love it anyway. And the first movie is just fantastic. I mean, with Liam Neeson, I mean, forget it.
Ugh.
That's Trilly. Now,
So
can
people-
we quickly go back? I don't want to talk about Lord of the Rings anymore. That's for sure. Because
I don't want to talk about Dark Knight
it's
anymore.
just trash. Back to the Future.
Classic. I mean,
Classic.
Back to the Future is a solid trilogy, but I don't know if I would ever think of it as like a best.
No.
I think Jurassic Park is tough because I think we talked about this in Discord. The third film is chose a different path, but the first two films are excellent films.
I don't know if I've seen the third one. Which one is Jurassic World? Was that like the fourth movie?
Fourth and fifth, but yeah.
Was that Chris Pratt or is Chris Pratt? Okay, Mario.
Yeah, there's two of them.
Okay,
there's going to be a third one.
So they did a 1, a 2, a 3, and then Jurassic World's like kind of took over.
Correct.
Right?
It's like years later, kind of. Yeah.
Isn't 3 when Jeff
Modernized
Goldblum comes back? Maybe I did see that.
Jeff 3. Yeah, they hire him.
Tia Leone and William H. Macy are in it.
It's
I love Tia
it's just
Leone.
different. It's about the dad and the kid, and then they go. No, Goldblum's not in it.
No, you're right.
What's his name? Is the other guy?
So Goldblum, I think, is in the second one.
He's in the second one with Vince Vaughn is in it.
Okay. I have seen
the father and son get lost. They're going whatever. They do parasailing, they crash on the island, and then they hire Dr. Grant to come and find them because he knows dinosaurs.
Okay. I have seen the third one. Maybe I didn't love it. Michael Jeter is in it. Hey, Michael Jeter, Mr. Noodle.
And we have to mention a few people mentioned, Star Wars, all the MCU stuff, Indiana Jones, which is a classic, but
Indiana Jones is definitely up there for me too. You know what
Indiana
the difference
Jones.
is though? Indiana Jones, all three of the movies are fantastic, even though the first movie is totally flawed because it doesn't even make any sense with the arc and all that. What was Indiana Jones?
So good.
What was his role in the movie though? They opened the arc and they all died. Okay. Very weird, but I love the second movie, love the third movie.
No, I love them. Yeah.
Here's the problem with the Back to the Future trilogy. The first movie is iconic. I actually regard Back to the Future as the best movie ever made because it's so great from beginning to end. It has such a fantastic story, great acting, everything. And it's from the 80s. And I think the best movies should always be the 80s. But the second and third movies, even though I finally watched them after, I think last year I finally watched them, they're not indelible. They're not iconic like the first movie. It really
like Jurassic
dropped
Park,
off.
though. It's the same way. Jurassic Park's so iconic.
Yes, exactly.
It's tough to beat those. I agree.
That's exactly where I was going.
And it doesn't mean that the second and third are necessarily bad.
No.
But it's impossible to steal the thunder that the first one did. I agree with you there.
Exactly. I'll talk about two other ones. Die Hard. Which hopefully doesn't suffer from the same thing. Obviously, the first movie, Die Hard, is one of my favorite movies of all time. Die Hard 2, I really like, although there's something kind of dark and depressing about it. I think because it takes place in the snow and the movie's a little dark. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. And then Die Hard 3, I love Die Hard 3. And I love the whole premise of it. If you remember, this is the one where John McClane is like walking in like the Bronx or Harlem, and he's got a very controversial sign that they won't actually show on TV anymore. I hate the N-word, which, like, wow, they put that in a movie, like, holy, like,
yeah.
And so he was being forced to do it by some terrorist. And then the whole movie is him and Samuel L. Jackson trying to find this guy. And it's so good. And there's like all these puzzles and they have to do these puzzles and like solve these problems. It's like a video game. I absolutely love the movie. Really good. And then I got to give props to Naked Gun. The Naked Gun trilogy is up there. God. All three are hilarious.
I can't believe you're comparing these movies to stuff like Lord of the Rings.
I guess
Star Wars.
You're saying it's as bad as Lord of the Rings?
All right. My God. Let's move on. Next question.
No, I wouldn't put Naked Gun as the top one. I definitely would say Dark Knight, Die Hard. I agree with you, Indiana Jones. I don't know if I put the Star Wars trilogy on there. I actually get a little bit bored watching almost every Star Wars movie. And if you rewatch those movies, there is a lot of technical government jargon.
There is in some of them.
Agreed. But the fun action scenes are fun. So
agreed.
Agreed.
We gotta move on.
Let's move on.
Bob Cousy, the cruise man himself. I believe this question is specifically for you, John. He wants to know how you keep your pet cats from mauling your pet rats.
So I don't have my rats anymore. The last one died out maybe a few years ago.
Was it from the cat?
No. But I did promise Kuzi I had a little story about it.
Okay.
So when we had our rats, we had just our one cat, Joni. We still have Joni. Joni's still around. And yeah, Joni would check out the cage. We had the cage right on the floor. It was a tall cage, but it was on the floor. We probably should have had it raised up a little bit. So I would encourage.
How many rats are in this cage?
There were 2 at any given time. But we had bought. We had 2 rats. We had 2. And
boy and girl?
No, there was 2. I think they were both male rats. One was Kirby.
Did they still torch through?
One was Kirby. One was Yoshi. No, rats don't do that.
Oh.
And but Kirby died after like 10 months. So we actually just had Yoshi for a long while all alone. But yeah, Joni would walk over to the cage and sit there. Sometimes would like put her paws on the cage and whatever. I would always be like, Joni, no. She was never really rough. But there were times when we would take the rats out of the cage and we would sit with them. We would never just let the rats walk around. And we would sit with them. They'd climb on us and we'd pet them and whatever. And Joni would come over from time to time. And so we would be really careful. We wouldn't like tell Joni to go away or anything. And Joni would come over and Joni would like lick the rats. Like, you know how like
cats is the most fucked up story.
Right? Yeah, so you know how cats will lick themselves to clean. And she would like lick the rats like it was like a child or something like that. Which is hilarious because we have another cat now, Cannoli, and Joni hates Cannoli. So Joni liked the rat, but didn't like another cat.
I think I'm more dumbfounded that you were sitting on the floor petting a rat.
Rats are so cute. You would just never know. You probably want to murder it.
Who are you? Petting rats, saying Naked Gun is the best movie series of all time.
I didn't say it. Naked Gun is iconic. But yeah, we don't have the pets and we don't have the rats anymore. They smelled. They are fun little pets. They're like little cats essentially, but you want to keep them in a cage, otherwise they'll chew your house out. But they smell.
What do you mean keep them in a cage? You just let them wander around your house?
No, you don't let them wander around your house because they'll chew through wires and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
But they smell, and it was right near my office, and they smell.
Sounds miserable.
Got one more question.
One more question.
Speaking of rats,
Michael PJP from Canada. I think so. Question. He says, butt stuff. I suppose
it's more like butt stuff.
Butt stuff. I suppose, the people that are comfortable talking about butt stuff usually means they like butt stuff.
Yeah,
That's what
probably.
I find. He says, I
Confirm.
suppose any stuff with the butt. I was thinking more of a woman receiving for the question, but I guess pegging can be part of the discussion.
What is pegging? Is that just
Hmm.
sex?
Well, I think I have an idea. No,
I
it's
thought
not
I knew it until I saw it in this context.
Let me get a proper Wikipedia reading for you.
I was going to Urban Dictionary just to cover my bases.
Oh dear, there's a nice picture here. Pegging is a sexual practice in which a woman performs anal sex on a man by penetrating his anus with a strap-on dildo.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
Michelle was asking me if I wanted a peg, and I wasn't sure. I just said, yeah.
Peg? Does you mean like play some cribbage or something? All right, I'm gonna post the picture of pegging.
Oh God.
In our
Discord.
Yeah, just in case people are wondering. But I guess I'm gonna leave this question to you, John. I mean, butt stuff, including pegging.
I am squeamish about so many things. I'm squeamish about my eyes. I'm terrified of getting a COVID test in the nose. I get a gag reflex at the dentist. So no, I'm not into butt stuff. Makes me a little bit squeamish. So it's just a flat no. I'm sure it's pleasurable. I've people who have done butt stuff. I mean, they're like really into it. Just not. There's so many other amazing things you can do.
Like corkscrew.
I don't need to like, yeah. Like if you go to your favorite restaurant, you don't try like the weirdest item on the menu because there's just so much stuff you like anyway. I mean, no.
I'm not a butt guy. No, I mean that's it only. I just.
Do you ever see the Mr. Bean episode when he gets caught naked outside of his hotel room and he like grabs a sign from the ceiling to cover up his butt and he's running away and the sign says exit only? It's hilarious.
Well, folks, I'm sorry. There's must be an issue in our After Dark channel because it's not letting me post this dirty picture. It is saying it's too dirty.
No.
Yes, it is. I'm telling you. Let me try this somewhere else. Let me try it in this channel. There we go. Oh
my God.
The Ask Drew and John channel needs to be, I guess, allowed to have rated X conversation. Anyways, great question, Michael. Great question. But unfortunately, no one on this podcast enjoys any of the butt stuff, as one may say. Maybe that's that Canadian thing. Hey, we'll have to ask our Canadian friends.
I think all Canadians do butt stuff. I think that's what we've confirmed.
I think that's the only explanation, to be honest. I now need to delete that picture off my desktop.
Hey, Drew, I have. Did you see the story about the lady on the airplane who found out she was COVID positive during the flight? And so she had to go into the bathroom and isolate for 3 hours, the last 3 hours of the flight.
But wait a minute.
Did you see that?
This was by choice she isolated.
Well, no, they were trying to find a seat for her, but like there was too many people on the plane. They couldn't isolate her. And so so the other choice was to go into the bathroom. So she did.
But touche, she did put up a fight, right? She said, yeah. I mean, if you read the story, though, it seemed interesting. She said something along the lines of she took like 5 tests beforehand.
Right.
Which again, that seems excessive. Like, why are you so concerned about yourself? Like, it's one thing if you're concerned about other people, right? Like you're afraid you're going to get COVID. But this woman was very concerned about like giving it to other people. She was so concerned. She had 5 negative tests. She got on a plane. She coughed. Said, "Oh, I better test myself again." Just happened to have another rapid test in her purse. Does it on the plane and gets a positive test?
I think it said she was getting a sore throat. Yeah, some people keep tests with them, and I think she was traveling, so maybe she didn't always have them with her, but she was traveling, so she was bringing some with her, and she got a sore throat about an hour into the flight, and it was a cross country flight, so it was a long flight, and yeah, she ended up. So I wanted to ask you, I mean, forgetting the COVID stuff, really, the focus more is if you were on a flight and you were given let's say you were flying alone, so there's no family or friends involved. And you were given the choice of you can just sit in the bathroom for 3 hours. Would you do it?
COVID or not COVID, irrelevant?
COVID or not COVID, you were flying alone anyway. You can play your Switch, you can play your phone, anything like that. But just the difference between sitting in a seat on a plane, not first class, just coach, or sitting in the bathroom for 3 hours.
Could I bring someone with me in the bathroom?
No, there's no room.
What do you mean, Mile High Club, baby?
For 3 hours?
Yeah, do a little pigeon.
No. Oh, it'd be fun for.
Listen, if that was off the table, then no, I would not want to do that.
Having the whole bathroom to myself, I can kind of change positions. I can stand up, lean against the door, play some Switch. I don't like that you just can't move around on a plane. So, and bathrooms are small, but I feel like I could actually move around a little bit.
No, then if you take a shit or fart, it's just gonna smell and you can't escape it. I'm out. I'd rather sit in my seat.
Okay. I would choose the bathroom.
I bet you if you asked 10 people, more than half would say their seat.
You're probably right.
Take that poll.
Right. What if there was no door on the bathroom? You just sat in the bathroom, but it was like your exclusive area.
Well, that'd be even worse because then you have no privacy. The whole point of the door is at least you can do what you want in there. Now you can't.
What the hell are you going to do in the bathroom? You're not sitting there naked.
Maybe I would.
You're not pooping the whole time. You're just sitting there. It's like your space. I don't know. I'm
out.
Maybe.
I'm out. Like I said, if I could bring a guest, I'm back in. But if you tell me I'm solo, I'm out.
What if your guest was not Amy? What if your guest was one of the Nintendo dads? Your pick.
No, that's even worse. Now I have less room and I have another stinky guy in the room.
All right. What if you had to sit in the bathroom and you had to sit in there with one of the Nintendo dads? Who are you picking?
God. Whoever the smallest one is. Sorry, guys. I want more room. It's too small.
Who's the smallest Nintendo dad?
I don't know.
We don't really see them. We see their faces.
So whoever's the smallest. That's my answer.
Smallest how, Drew?
I don't know. I make it wait.
Make it wait? Okay.
I'm those kids just checking myself.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. You mentioned the pegging, so I don't know.
Yeah, you want to make sure that, most comfortable. All right, John, did you see that IGN put out a top 100 games of all time? Now, I feel like this happens every year, so I don't know if it changes or not. My guess is it doesn't.
It does.
But that blows my mind. List? Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, there's games that came out last year that are on it.
So rather than putting our audience the idea of you reading all 100, let's just start at the top and go down, and maybe we'll call out some that like either shock us, we think they should be lower, we don't think they should be on the list, or maybe just some ones that we enjoy. How about we do that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So why don't you start at the top? See something you like.
Yeah. We got Borderlands 2. Divinity Original Sin 2 at 99. Just wanted to point out, I bought this game a couple weeks ago on big time sale, and I can't wait to play it. And I was excited to see that it's numbered 99 on the list. It's like a Fire Emblem game.
Okay.
It's really cool. We got a bunch of them. I'll skip through them, but
yeah.
I think, by the way, Final Fantasy 7 at 98 is oddly low. But as this is from IGN's editors. So, if you took 5 or 10 random people, you're going to get a totally different list. So don't go crazy over it. But there was just not a lot of Final Fantasy 7 fans. My guess is they're just younger.
That's fair.
Number 85, Monster Hunter World. And I point that out because it is the top rated Monster Hunter game. It's the only Monster Hunter game on this list. So Monster Hunter World is on this list. I would have put Rise on this list.
I agree. It's not there. How about 79, Fortnite? Do you think that's the best game? I mean, the game itself, I know it draws people.
Yeah.
But is the game itself good?
I think it's good. I'm glad that they did this with a lot of games that are like hugely popular, like League of Legends too, aren't just instantly high because everybody plays them. Everybody plays Fortnite, but it's 79. So they are being critical, and I liked to see that. I like to see that.
Super Smash Brothers 79 Ultimate. Yeah, I think that fits. I think that is a good game. I think it probably could actually be a little bit lower, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's not the highest fighting game. I was curious if it was the highest fighting game. There's plenty that are actually higher than it. I was kind of surprised to see it on the list, but I don't disagree with it being on the list.
Yeah. Here's one that blows my fucking mind. Spelunky 2, ranked 75.
Fuck off.
This is the top 100 games of ever.
Yeah.
Spelunky? Come on. Eat my ass.
To be fair, we didn't play Spelunky 2.
Doesn't matter.
I still want to get through Spelunky, but yeah, whatever.
Fuck that game.
Fuck Spelunky. 74, Return of the Oberdin. I was shocked.
Top 100.
This is in the top 100. I tried this game, and I love quirky games, right? Love quirky games. Me and my friend James Music, you're still out there. Love quirky games. I was so excited to play this game. I didn't like it. And I don't know how it's at 74. It has some issues. I do want to try to beat it someday. But this one? No way. You can't have this on the list.
And it goes right now into the next top of the list. 72. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Right.
Guys, that's a top 10 game of all time. It has to be. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And even better, one was 71 right next to it. Donkey Kong. The original Donkey Kong, they're saying, is a better game than Mario Kart 8.
I mean, it's classic. The problem with these lists is you have to balance the classics. Should Donkey Kong, Miss Pac-Man be top 10 versus, we're living in the modern world and there's games that are just going to be better. I just find it weird that Return of the Oberdin is 74 and Donkey Kong is only a few spots ahead of it. That's just weird.
I know. I'm going back to the editor's choice, Tim, but let's do some rapid fire here because we'll be here all night if we keep this straight. 68, Super Mario World 2. Is that the one with the babies?
Yep.
That shouldn't even be on the list. That's fucking stupid, too. But here's one for you, John. 62, Rise of Tomb Raider. Does that deserve it?
I would have put the original on there. The origin story, to me, was better. But the second game was so graphically better. And, they had the time to really expand on the experience. It's an amazing game to play through. I can't really argue it, but I probably like the first one and the third one better. But I was glad to see Tomb Raider represented here. It's the only Tomb Raider game on the list.
That's fair. I mean, you can't spoil the list, but we're going to skip ahead to number 50, Earthbound.
No.
Earthbound
should not be number 50.
Agreed.
Just no.
Agreed. 49, Diablo 2. God, I hope they talked about the original.
They didn't ask me.
They didn't ask me either. I'll tell you that much. I mean, how do they say Diablo 2 is a better game than Diablo 3?
Diablo 3 is not even on the list.
That's my point. If they're going to put it,
I think it was more like Diablo 2 and how unique and fresh it was at the time. It's just one of those. Diablo 3 is a better game in every single way.
Which leads to the very next one, 48, which is StarCraft.
Yeah.
Which, again, that game's amazing. And the memories I have with that game are fantastic. And that was a fun, great game. I mean, I bet if you try to play StarCraft, the original, today...
Oh, no, you can't.
You can't.
I don't even know if you really can. I mean, like...
That's true, too.
And look what's next on the list. World of Warcraft.
Go through the next...
I mean, we've got 3 Blizzard games in a row. It's bizarre.
Yeah. Yep.
So basically, they're saying World of Warcraft is the best Blizzard game, followed by StarCraft, followed by Diablo 2. Maybe. I don't know. Where's Warcraft 2? Warcraft 2 is better than... I never really got into StarCraft. I wish I did, because I probably would have loved it.
StarCraft
but Warcraft 2 was my jam.
They came out with what? They rebooted it maybe 10 years ago? 12 years ago?
Warcraft?
No, StarCraft.
StarCraft. Yeah. I never got into it. I just love the aesthetic of Warcraft so much, and StarCraft just seemed futuristic, and I just
loved
didn't play it.
It was so fun.
Yeah. What else?
43, Pokemon Yellow? Eh?
I think that's the highest Pokemon game.
I think so.
And I think I saw a video where they talked about the top 10, and they basically said they picked Yellow out of the 3 because of Pikachu following you. I think it should be in the top 100, the original Pokemon game. So I have no problem, really, at 43. I think that's fine.
42, Metroid Prime. I know I can't speak. I didn't play these games, but if you think about all of these like first-person type shooter type games,
Mhm.
do you think Metroid Prime is on that list?
I would think so, because from a
Okay.
console point of view, it was pretty revolutionary at the time, and it's held up really well. It's still playable like today. It didn't get out of date.
Okay.
But there's a few first person games I think should be on this list, and Metroid Prime that's for that reason.
Okay. 37. Your favorite
Dead?
franchise, Red
Yep.
Dead Redemption?
I really did like Red Dead Redemption. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I really liked it. I'm a little disappointed that the sequel is way ahead of this one. I like this one way better.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to point that out.
34, Ocarina of Time.
That
Okay.
seems low.
You think it should, that's a tough one. I mean, the story.
I think for a lot of people, this is the best game of all time. But I think for a younger crowd, it has aged. Its graphics have aged.
Correct.
The game has aged.
If they recreated this game in a new engine, but the same game, I agree it'd be an amazing game.
Yeah.
It's hard to play through it as is.
Yeah, I can't blame 20-somethings for putting this down at 34. I'm actually kind of glad they put it as high as they did. This is a game that 40-somethings might look back on, but...
Let's skip a few here to number 21, the original Super Mario Brothers. Classic, great game. Still holds up.
Yes, and I agree where it is. It's sort of a balance of its playability today versus its iconicness at the time. I think it could have gone up higher because of how groundbreaking it was. But 21 is really high for the original Super Mario Brothers, and it's not the last Super Mario on the list.
Correct. But what really blows my mind out of this whole fucking list is number 20.
Yes.
Undertale.
I know.
I mean, you're telling me, imagine if you go to Blizzard and saying, hey, you know your $1 billion World of Warcraft game? This game this kid created by himself called Undertale is better than it. Like, it blows my mind that this goes back to, like you said, the creators of this list must be some 20-something-year-old kids.
It definitely, yes. I think age has come into it. This is like the game that some of these reviewers probably like really loved at the perfect time. I will say Undertale is a good game. It was like super, super hyped. And when I finally played it on Switch for the first time, I played through it and I was like, really? This is the game that everybody loves? But one of the nice things about it is you can play it in different ways and get lots of different outcomes.
Doesn't matter.
And that's fine. And you can play it again. Like after you finish it, you can start a new game, but it's on the same save. And there will be back references to the first game and the second game. That is all well and cool. It's not the 20th best game of all time. It's just not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And when it's not too far from that, number 16, Witcher 3. Now, see, I think that deserves to be around that spot. That's a great game.
Do you? I wanted to know. I thought it would be top 10.
I thought it would be a little bit lower, but I think I'm happy with it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
It's hard to compare all these. And then another Nintendo Dad's favorite, 13, Hades. Good to see that up there.
Is this shocking? I found it shocking. It's so
very shocking. I don't like, again, is that a better game than Witcher? Like, how do you compare that?
That's a hard one. Hades is really, really good and fun. I think The Witcher 3 should be above Hades. And also Hades edged out Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It's just, it's great. It's also really, I think it might be the newest game on the list. And it's at 13. I don't know. I found it shocking.
The problem with any roguelike game, right? No matter how good it is, no matter how in-depth and different weapons and collectibles and missions and things you can do, you are still playing the same levels over and over again, regardless. It is. It's the same, and even Hades, as we beat a boss, great, you go to the fire world. Sure, the map might look a little bit different, but you're still playing the fire world. You're going to build up to the next boss. You're going to fight the fire hydra, and then you're going to go to the next area. And you're going to do that over and over and over every single run. Where The Witcher 3, you're going into these new towns, you're exploring new forests, it's just...
And all the side stories in The Witcher are so well thought out. None of them are ever boring. They're not just fetch quests.
No, you're doing a side quest. It's like watching an episode of The Witcher. Like, all right, here's what you're going to do. You're going to hunt down this ghost. You're going to extract it. And you're going to kill it. Like,
I'm not going to shit all over roguelikes. I love the genre.
I do too.
I really do.
I love them too. What are they, a top 15 or top 20?
Yeah, it's too high. Hades is too high. Love Hades. It's too high.
Number 11, Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, great game. John, your favorite game of all time, number 8, Red Dead Redemption 2.
I will go to my grave never understanding why people regard this game the way they do. I don't understand. I honestly think there are people that are too easily duped by graphical fidelity. I don't understand. This game is so slow and it has so many flaws. Oh God, who the hell wants to play a game where you kill a bunch of people and they won't let you loot them because the cops are coming and they're screaming for you to hurry up. Come on.
Here's the problem with some of these types of games. I'd like to quote the old Jeff Goldblum from the original Jurassic Park. When he's in the car and he says, they never stop, just because you can doesn't mean you should, right? They never stop to think about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of what you told me through Red Redemption 2 was that, it's that same thing. Like they showed a cutscene for every time you looted the body.
Right.
Just because you can do that doesn't mean you should do that.
Exactly.
So I think a lot of these games try to do that. Like, I want this to be super realistic. But no, that's not what I play a video game not to be realistic.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to point out one sentence in the blurb that they have. The sentence says, "A beautiful ode to an ugly era, Red Dead Redemption 2 combines Rockstar's most authentic and lived-in open world ever with its most earnest storytelling to date. 2 things. 1, how the fuck do you know that it's authentic? Nobody who was involved in this lived in the Wild West. I guarantee you, this is not what the Wild West was like. This is a bastardized, romanticized version of the Wild West."
Agreed.
Secondly, the story is dog shit. The story, you want to know the story in one sentence? They had to run away from home and they need money and a place to live. That's it. That's the fucking story. It's not a good story. And it's told over 40 hours. And the only interesting story parts are like 10 hours apart. The game is all filler. It's not a good story. This game should not be number 8. Shouldn't even be on the list.
Well, a lot of Nintendo representation here in the top 10. Number 7, Super Mario 64. It's a great game, hands down. I love the game. It's fantastic. The idea of it is fantastic. The only thing that has against it is the N64 graphics that is difficult to hold up. But everything else about it, the level designs, the jumping in the pictures and finding the secret star, it's all fantastic. Everything's great. It set the road for a lot of Mario games.
Yeah, it's trailblazing, so you can't argue with it at 7, but it's also pretty much unplayable, especially by younger gamers today. You really have to have played it to get enjoyment out of it today. So I feel like it should have been maybe between 10 and 20, but you can't argue.
Number 5, which again blows my mind a little bit, Super Metroid. Number 5, best game ever, John.
I can't argue it.
Wow. Anyways,
I don't personally love Super Metroid, but I totally see it. It really is.
Number 4, Zelda Link to the Past.
I was a little surprised by this one.
I was a little surprised. I mean, this is a decent game. It's not actually one of my favorite Zelda games, and I'm surprised that many people would think it is.
Mm-hmm. It's still very playable. It aged really well. It's as playable today as the day it came out.
Agreed.
It's gorgeous. It's deep. It's fun. I'm just surprised it's that high.
Yep. Number 2, Super Mario World.
That's shocking.
Yeah, a little shocking.
I think it is one of the best 2D Marios, if not the best 2D Mario. I'm shocked it's number 2, but it really goes to show you that this is like an age demographic thing.
I agree.
And Super Mario World is probably the game that the oldest journalist grew up playing. When did it come out? Like 94?
94?
I'm not good
94-ish might be better, yep.
Yeah, and it was amazing, and it's so playable today. 1990, oh my God. Of course, 1990, it was a launch game. But it's so playable today, it hasn't aged one bit. And it's great. It's fantastic. Just surprised number 2. That's all.
So if you haven't guessed it yet, the number 1 game according to IGN of all time is Breath of the Wild. John, I'm going to have a hot take here, and don't hate me, because I fucking love Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Breath of the Wild and this might sound weird, is a bit empty for me. And what I mean by that is the world is fantastic. The exploration is fantastic. Exploring the landscape, I guess, is great and a lot of fun. But outside of that, even when you compare it to like a Witcher game, there isn't a lot of reasons to explore. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's not really quests. There's a lot of like, I don't want to say lack of story, but maybe I do, because it's not really putting you into the Zelda universe that I wish it did. Right? There's not a lot of things to do besides exploring. Don't get me wrong, I explored every inch of that map. I did every single shrine, 100% at every shrine. I explored every coastline, every mountain, every cave, everything. And I loved doing that. I just wish there was more things sending me on those missions. Do you know what I'm saying, though, in a weird way?
Yes and no. I think I have never been sucked into a game like Breath of the Wild.
Agreed.
I'll never forget it. It was like the second day the Switch was out. We had our first Switch mob party with my group before it was even its own group, mind you. And we rented we didn't rent with money, but we rented a little space in a bar. And we all got together and we were going to play 1-2 Switch. That was going to be the game we played. Half the room was people playing handheld Breath of the Wild. I couldn't even have conversations with them. Everyone was so into Breath of the Wild. And I had started it and played it a little bit, but like everyone was super into it. And then the next day I started like playing it again. And I actually bought a copy for Michelle because she wanted to play on her own. And we just couldn't stop playing for 2 months. I've never been so invested in a game.
I agree.
Looking back on it, I agree with you. Looking back on it, and even when I tried to play a second time, I really enjoyed my play. But I eventually just kind of was like, all right, I think knowing that I had dozens of hours and all these shrines that I had to find all over again.
Yeah. It's kind of that.
Stopped. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, well, what's the point? And I love the whole items and the breakable. I'm okay with that. The trucking, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Just like you said, there was that lack of like wanting to redo those shrines again. The only reason I wanted to do all the shrines was not because it got me something cool, is because I wanted to see the design of it.
Yes.
But once you did it, it's not like some of these old games that I want to redo a quest. Like I go back and play other Zelda games because I feel like there's a reason to do it.
Right, or The Witcher.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Like if you play The Witcher again, you can like go into somebody's house that you haven't seen before and just mess around in there, or
correct,
find stuff. And Breath of the Wild is a little more empty. But
it just felt a little empty. And again, not from like an environment. It's just like the questing story-ish type emptiness, I guess.
It was so open world though. And the first time you play through is just magical. And there was so much to find. And I loved the shrines. And sometimes when I play open worlds, I actually don't like that there's all this shit. I'm noticing it with Valhalla. Valhalla is not loaded with crap like Skyrim is or Witcher is. It's like, and it's like all these little things. You go into a town in The Witcher and it's so big and overwhelming. But most of the time you go into a room, there's not like, you're not going to find things. Maybe you will. I liked that the terrain was the open world and you can kind of see better. I have no argument with it being number one. I'm a little surprised, but
like I said, I don't want you to think I don't love Breath of the Wild. Right. And I can't believe I'm going to say this next sentence, but when you think of like Phoenix Rising, right? Because Breath of the Wild was 10 times better than Phoenix Rising. But Phoenix Rising did have a lot of nooks and crannies that when you found it, it started like a side quest, whether it was getting through a temple or solving a puzzle. Like they needed to bring some of that into Breath of the Wild in a weird way. You know what I'm saying? Like when
my
you go to
theory is that Breath of the Wild 2 is taking so long because they are going to make it a little more like modern open world. They'll never make like even a Phoenix Rising Phoenix Rising was a fine game. It had no soul. That's why it's not on this list.
Agreed.
But they're not going to make a Witcher. They're not going to make, like one of these big games. But I think it's going to be a little bit more like side questy and
agreed.
And I think that's why they're taking a long time on it.
I think so too. But anyways, fun list. We talked about it a lot. The last thing we need to talk about before we wrap up the show is our 2021 predictions, John. How did we do? Because let's be honest, our predictions kind of sucked. And
let's go through them. This was fun.
We each had 5.
We each had 5, and we allocated points to it.
We did. So my first one, I'll do, and then you do your first one. Okay. My first one was worth 2 points.
Yep.
I said Nintendo was going to release 2 sports games, and that one of them was going to be Punch-Out. I guess I did. Well, I got 1 point. I got Mario Golf.
I'll give you a point.
So I'll take 1. All right.
Yeah, we didn't get Punch-Out. We really need to get a Punch-Out. Hopefully this year.
I know.
And we only got. Did we get any other sport games? I can't think of another. We didn't. It wasn't Mario Tennis.
None that I bought.
Yeah, we didn't even get Sports Story, but that wouldn't have been Nintendo anyway. Yeah, I don't think we got any other sports game. We got Clubhouse Games, which has some sports in it, but I wouldn't call it. All right,
yep, I'll take it. Give it to me.
No.
Okay.
Just the one.
Okay.
Should I go through my first one?
Yeah, do you
go back and forth? All right.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing paid DLC March 20th, 1 year anniversary.
Well, March 20th, throw that out the window.
We did get paid DLC in...
I guess I'll give you a point.
When was the paid DLC? Wasn't that October, September, October?
Yeah, it was fallish.
I was so close. Just the wrong
I'll give you 1.
Okay.
My number 2 was the Nintendo stock will hit $100. I like to blame the pandemic for that. It's currently sitting at $58. That's just 0 points awarded.
So 1 year ago it was 78.70. Now it's 58.37.
Well,
I award you 0 points.
God have mercy on your soul.
God have mercy on your soul.
It was, the movie was supposed to be out. The amusement parks were supposed to be opening. COVID hurt.
And I don't understand. They did so well. Nintendo makes so much money. I never understand the stock with Nintendo.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Oh, it's only the best console on the market, and the stock goes down 25%. In a year during the pandemic where everyone was buying everything, and you literally can't find Nintendo hardware. And crazy. Every game sells out, and Animal Crossing, and it's like, it goes down.
I agree.
I don't get it. All right, mine was a Metroid Prime Trilogy themed Switch, summer or fall. Dude, we got a Metroid themed Switch in the fall. In the fall. October 8th.
What?
Yes. The OLED Switch is Metroid Dread themed.
No.
Are you kidding me?
How is it? It's just white.
The white Joy-Cons match the Emmy, and it came out on the same day. It's a Metroid Switch.
You meant some type of graphic.
No, I said a themed Switch. And they came out the same day. Why does it have a white Joy-Cons? Tell me why. Why does it have white Joy-Cons? Answer the question,
That's the
Claire.
only color they haven't made yet.
No, it's because that was what the colors of
Are
Metroid
you really
Dread.
going to try to pull a half? I'll give you a half.
I want 1 point.
You don't even deserve a half.
Dude, a Metroid-themed Switch. I didn't know Metroid Dread was coming out. Metroid-themed, that's 1 point.
You said Metroid Prime Trilogy themed Switch.
And it was Metroid Dread themed in the fall. And I even called the season. I said summer or fall.
Different, yeah, that's a 50-50 chance. You said 50% of the year, the summer or the fall.
I want 0.75 points.
You're lucky you're getting 0.5.
Got lucky with your mom last night.
Ooh, did she pet you? All right, my number 3 was no Switch Pro.
I don't know.
Oh, here we go. You already added.
I'll give you a point because if you were 2 points, I wouldn't give you 2, but we did get the OLED Switch.
It's not a
but
Pro,
it's not
though.
a Switch Pro.
Okay.
Pro-ish. I said this was amazing. An official Nintendo Cloud system rolled out in September. New tier on NSO. Nailed the new tier on NSO.
The new tier, 100%.
And I think it came out in October? Early October, wasn't it?
So you kind of had 3 things going on here. You had a Nintendo Cloud system.
Mm-hmm.
You said September.
Mm-hmm.
And you had a new tier.
Yeah, it came out October, but very close.
So I'll give you 1. You should have said fall.
I'll take 1. New tier just had the wrong reason.
Oh. Okay.
By the way,
My number 4.
I absolutely don't care who wins, but
Me either. I could care less.
It is fun to see how good we did.
I said that Disney would be announcing a huge video game announcement of some sort, meaning like they'd have like their own Disney Plus gaming system or something. I was incorrect on that one.
Incorrect. We did get a new Disney game. What is it? Either like the Lion King, Aladdin, and then Jungle Book, or I don't know, something.
Yeah, then they redid the magical whatever the hell it is one. And they came out with a big mobile game, kind of like it's like a 3-on-3 brawling battle arena game.
Yeah, I mean nothing.
But
big,
not
though.
what I was looking for. More than just games.
I said Breath of the Wild 2 for holiday 2021. That's a big 0. It did get announced, but I mean, we kind of knew that they were going to say something about it.
And I said, which I think we would have had if it was for COVID, the Super Mario film trailer and a title in 2021. I feel like we got a lot of info.
Yeah, I'll give you
Maybe
a
like
half a point on this.
Yeah. Okay. Because we did get like a big announcement on it. I don't think they said the name of it though, did they?
No, and I'm dying for a trailer. I'm dying for a trailer. We'll definitely get it we'll get it by summer, but I'm hoping like spring we'll get one.
Probably be some big like Universal movie that's coming out soon. They'll probably put it with that.
Yeah. My final prediction. Well, I'm sure on this one. A new iteration of the Joy-Con, D-pad included.
And
how have they not done this? I don't even think we got an iteration on the Joy-Con.
Nobody wants it. Nobody needs it.
A D-pad. Oh, the D-pad on the Switch Lite is such a pleasure.
Well, John, I can happily say we both suck enough to tie.
Did we?
With 2.5 points each.
You know, that's perfect. I think we both did equally well.
We did equally sucky.
I can't wait to do predictions. We'll do predictions again on the next episode. How about that?
We'll have to start. I'll have to start thinking.
So come up with 5.
All the same ones. All the ones that I got wrong, I'm just going to roll over.
Breath of the Wild 2 for holiday 2022.
John, a dead month of January. What do we have to look forward to?
Nothing really. January, we kind of talked about it. January is pretty dead. I don't know if anything significant. It's all pretty bad games coming out until January 28th when we get Pokemon Legends Arceus. And then, of course, Life is Strange Remastered in February 1st. But yeah, nothing until then. So play your backlogs, people. There's nothing. Is there any hardware? I mean, we there's nothing. There's nothing I'm looking forward to.
Nothing. That's it. Simple as that.
No Ages of Mages sequel yet, or
it's coming.
Anything? All right.
Soon. I'm working with the developer myself, actually. A lot of input.
All right. We did it. We got through the first episode of season 3.
All right. Let us know what you guys thought. If there's anything different.
Wow.
That's all I got. Good night from me.
Good night. Good night, everybody. Sweet dreams.
The Dads After Dark show is part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. You can subscribe to us anywhere podcasts are available, including iTunes, Castbox, Spotify, and Stitcher. Also, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review. Pretty please. Be sure to join us on the Nintendo Dads Discord in our Dads After Dark channels for some naughty After Dark talk. Follow us on Twitter at @NDadsAfterDark or email us at dadsafterdarkshow@gmail.com. And a big thank you to Family Jewels for our show's music. You rock. That's all for tonight. Good night, Dads. Sweet dreams.
I had that saved up for days.
It's not even good.
It's good. It's
not.
How is that not good? You're laughing.